Good afternoon. Once again, book lovers of the internet, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Book Nerd 822, and in this video, I am going to be reviewing this book called Strange Pictures by Uketsu. If you recall, this was the first book I picked out of my TBR jar just a couple of days ago, and I managed to finish it, wrote a review this morning. It consists of 244 pages, and I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars. So I didn't think that all the different narratives would come together so neatly, and was in fact rather impressed. However, the story itself I had a bit of a problem with because it didn't particularly blow me away. There wasn't really anything necessarily original. I wouldn't really refer to anything as original in the story or anything I haven't ever really been exposed to in literature. So that is why I rated this one a 3 out of 5 stars. But what I enjoyed the most was trying to identify what the pictures implied and then being told by the author, being given the answer by the author just a couple of pages after. And I was held in suspense throughout because I didn't know that the stories would tie in together so well, and I kept thinking that I wouldn't really be told about the characters I had so very well been introduced to, and the characters that are developed so well, I thought I wouldn't really be told even more about, but that was not the case. So it felt like an interesting experiment of seeing how much the author and I had in common, and whether I would have been able to write such a book myself. It was interesting because I could look into the mind of the author himself. I suppose the story all revolves around a singular character and all the damage she did during her life, and some of it was, of course, justifiable, but the rest not so much. I won't be spoiling anything here. I would like for you to read the story yourself and let me know what you think. I would like to see what your perspective is, your interpretation as a detective within this novel is. And if you have read this already, do let me know what you thought would happen in the comment section. So, in my case, I didn't really know that the stories would tie together so well and that they all had a connection. So, I was very surprised towards the end of the story when I saw that they did. And honestly, some of that really was quite coincidental. It didn't really come across as realistic that everything tied in together so well, much like a puzzle. Felt rather convenient, but I was glad to see that I suppose it did. All I can say is that the concept of layering multiple images on top of each other to complete the full picture was fascinating to me. This is within the first 50 pages of the story, so there aren't really any spoilers there, but in a way the entire story is told following the same steps, whereby the reader is given different perspectives, and when layered together, they complete the full image, and we get to see the entire life of the character who does plenty of damage um, for different reasons. Whether they're personal, whether it's to protect herself, to protect her son, to protect her own ego, so, yeah, I mean, the story spans several decades and consists of murder and suicide. So, if you are vulnerable to those sorts of themes, beware that these are themes which are quite prominent within this story. And I would recommend it for the original concept of including images which tell a story or aid it. But then again, the story itself, as I mentioned, isn't that interesting. For instance, these are the clues we are given, and we are expected to make something out of them. And yeah, because of these pictures, the story went by very quickly. Didn't take me as long as I thought it would to read the whole thing. Um, these are some others, by the way, and it would come as a shock to you as well, perhaps, that all of these pictures have a connection to a singular character, by the way. But that is all I'm going to say. I want you to read it and let me know what you think about the story in the comment section. So, what is pretty cool is how Uketsu, the author of the book, is a YouTuber just like me, but his identity is unknown, and it's brilliant how he's an author and a YouTuber and manages to keep his identity hidden. I believe his books have sold millions of copies in Japan, and it is important to mention that um, that is Uketsu himself. It is important to mention that this book was translated to English by um, an American guy, as far as I know, who lives in Japan, called Jim Ryan. Hopefully, I am saying that properly. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I doubt that I would read more by the same writer. As I mentioned, I didn't particularly enjoy the story, more so the concept of it. But I am certainly planning on looking this guy up on YouTube and taking a look at what comes up. Perhaps I'll be able to go viral one of these days, and I will do so following his advice or following some sort of pattern he does on this god-forsaken platform. But anyway, that is all I had to say about Strange Pictures by Uketsu. Now I have to pick another book from my TBR jar for the summer, so I suppose I have 49 books to go now. Going to give this a good shake like I did last time, and we are going to, of course, pick a title at random. So this time round, it is going to be okay. Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I have a couple of pages to go. I recall my dad buying that one for me when he went to Ireland. So, yeah, that is definitely going to be one of the books I finish reading next. So, yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Take a look at the rest of my content because why not? It's absolutely amazing. Just for the record, this one is number 13, by the way. Um, yeah, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. Take a look at the rest of my content because it's absolutely amazing. And I'll see you in the next one, hopefully, very, very soon. Bye, guys.